The beast spread itself wider, tendrils unfurling across exhibits, brushing against door bridges like curious fingers pressing into panes of fragile glass. With every touch, they shook harder, frames trembling as if ready to fracture. Each one was a path, a wound in reality. But together they were vein-like, and the beast intended to use the museum itself to spill into everywhere all at once. I froze. My heel hovered over the marble, suspended in indecision. For a moment, the museum fell silent, but for the low hum of every door bridge trembling in its frame. I had run twice before, situations where I had donned the mantle of cowardice and ran from an inevitable confrontation. The first time was when Lumi was in a dire time of need, and in my confusion and fear, I left her behind, changing my name from Lucas Vayrel to Lucian Vox. The second time was when the fifth Nathaniel Tally broke through the Grand Archway from the Nautilith. That was when the void first screamed open and created the first 0 hour. I gathered what I could and dragged the Mirror Mall into exile. It was easier to tell myself I was saving something, anything, rather than admit I was simply running. And in doing so became the curator of this so-called museum. Now the beast stood here in the one place I thought it could never find. And all my cleverness, all my warnings, none of it mattered. I was not strong enough to stop it. My power was curation, not war. And yet, a flicker, inspiration like lightning through marrow. The answer was not to defeat the beast, it was to trap it. The door bridges quaked once more as the beast's tendrils brushed them again, the light inside shattering into endless mirrored shards. To sever them would be to cut open reality itself. The raw energy of collapse would be uncontrollable, devastating. But it could be shaped. It could be manipulated. The Grand Archway. The very fracture Nathaniel had torn through. The wound I had abandoned in my flight. If I could pull the scattered chaos of 100 dying door bridges together, I could remake it. Not as a gateway this time, but a prison vast enough to bind the beast. The sacrifice was obvious. The archway would need an anchor, a soul tethered to its bones to hold the beast inside. And there was no one left but me. "You will not consume them," I declared firmly. "If you would take everything, then take me with it." And all at once I severed the bridges in flash of chaotic brilliance. The light screamed as it tore free, a storm of broken timelines collapsing into chaos, racing to converge. The Grand Archway rose from the ruin, not of stone, but a frame of pure paradox, curving higher and higher, burning with the light of 100 severed worlds. The archway snapped shut around me as the beast struck, its tendrils coiling around my body as both of us were dragged inward. For an instant, I was inside it, inside the beast. A million empty eyes turned toward me, and I saw what it saw. Every timeline, every possible ruin, every ending it had ever devoured. Asha fell to Sasha, who became the matron of midnight. She stole the souls of children at the orphanage to unlock the door to darkness. The ninth Nathaniel struggled with the demon inside him, row-tied, until it finally consumed him whole. The cycle began again. Kai was just missing, as if he never existed. The museum was now gone. The beast was now with me, and I was now both jailer and prisoner. But something remained, something the archway did not require. Not my body, not my name, only my voice. A faint resonance carried on the fractures of time. A whisper threaded into the marrow of worlds. Not the coward's whisper it once was. Not the hollow warning of exile, but something else. I am still here. I am still speaking. And those who wish to hear me, like the static between stations, will always be able to do so. This tale is not carved in stone. It is carried in the breaths between footsteps, in the hollow between heartbeats. I tell it because I must. Because someone must remember that even in the void, even when you are outmatched, even when you are nothing more than a coward with a voice, you can still take a stand.